On today's episode of DIYMAN, we're building a simple coffee table, but this guy's got a little secret. Let's get this project going. I'm going to take a 2x4 and rip a 1/4 inch off of each side. That'll give us an 8-foot board that's 3 inches wide. Now let's cut that up into 4 18-inch pieces. In just a second, we're going to turn these into some awesome looking legs. Now, measuring from the top, let's make a mark 4 inches down on one of the sides. Then on the bottom, let's make a mark 2 inches from that other side. Then let's take a straight edge and we'll draw a line between those two marks. Now, I want my legs to have a curve, so I'm going to use a spray can and trace a curve on one of those edges. Now that I've clamped this leg down, I'm going to cut it out with a circular saw and the jigsaw. Alright, there's one completed leg. Now we can either trace the other ones out or we can measure them the same way. These are super easy to measure, so I just measured mine. I want all these legs to be exactly the same, so I'm clamping them together, then I'm going to sand them down with a 60 grit sandpaper. Alright, now we have 4 legs that match perfectly. Now that we're done messing around with those, let's cut up some 1x4s. You'll want to cut out 2 that are 16 inches and 2 at 26. Next, on one of the 16s and both the 26-inch pieces, let's put 2 pocket holes on each side. Do you know the secret yet? I promise it's coming. Let's mount one of those long boards between these 2 legs using wood glue and pocket screws. On this build, I'm attaching those 1x4s flush with the outside edge of those legs. You'll notice on a lot of my builds I usually offset these, but today I'm not going to do that. Once that's done, let's take the 16-inch piece with the pocket screws and attach it to one of the sides. I decided to come back and put a couple pocket holes on the top of these boards. That way I can attach the tabletop with pocket screws and I won't have any nail holes. Alright, it's time to put that other side together. It's exactly the same, except this one only attaches to the other side. We're going to be using that last 16-inch 1x4 for something else. You know what it is, don't you? If you figured it out, comment below with the timestamp. Now that that's done, let's take our edge glued lumber and cut 2 pieces that are 36 inches. Now to join these, I'm just going to use wood glue and pocket screws to make one solid piece. If you're a patient woodworker, you can just glue and clamp these if you want. Now I'm just making a couple marks so I can evenly space those legs on the tabletop. Then I'll just use wood glue and pocket screws to attach them. Now let's cut one 1x3 at 16 inches and one at 17.5 inches. On that 16-inch board, let's put 2 pocket holes on each side. Let's grab that other 1x4 that doesn't have pocket holes and set it between the two legs. Now I'll mount that 16-inch 1x3 flush with the bottom of that piece. For this next part, I'm going to use a 22-inch undermount drawer slide. We're going to mount our 17.5-inch 1x3 between those two long sides. I'm just mounting this board so that the front of that drawer slide is flush with that 16-inch 1x3. Now I'm just going to mark the center of these two boards so I can put that drawer slide right in the center. Now I was going to use a stubby screwdriver to attach the front of this drawer slide, but I didn't have one short enough, so I had to take that front board back off to get this drawer slide mounted. I don't know what brand this drawer slide is, but it was a really stupid design. I'll try to link up one in the description that will work well for this project. Okay, let's cut up a few more 1x3s. We need two that are 20 inches and one that's 14. Now we need to cut a piece of 1/2-inch plywood that's 19¼ inches long and 14 inches wide. Now I'm just going to make a drawer out of these pieces. I'll use wood glue and a finishing nailer to attach those two 20-inch boards to the side, and that 14-inch piece will go on the end there. Now let's attach that 16-inch 1x4 we cut out at the beginning of the video. This should overlap evenly on the left and right sides. Then the top of that 1x4 should be flush with the top of our drawer. Next I'll attach the drawer to the drawer slide. Alright, it's time to do the part nobody enjoys doing. Next, I'll stain the top with a provincial stain from Minwax. I'm using a gloss white paint from Rust-Oleum for the legs and the bracing. Now for a clear coat to seal the top. Now we have an awesome looking coffee table with a secret. You know, one of the most important things when you become a parent is protection. It's really important when you have kids to find a way to protect your candy stash. One of these days, they're not going to believe you that candy rots your teeth out. Subscribe to this channel for more great parenting tips. If you do, I'll try to throw some more DIY stuff in there too. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Smash like for me if you did, and keep hitting that I believe button.